So we just had rain, so I'm going to celebrate and give you a tour of the kitchen garden, and I'll also do a separate video of the pottery garden just for completeness. So although we've had rain, everything's still a little bit parched here, but it's okay. We're going to have a load of building work done at the moment, having this big shed replaced there and having a new little shed built there. So I've been really busy with all the prep work for this job, so hence not so much gardening going on, or the gardening looking a little bit scrappy. But hopefully it'll be finished by the end of August, and that'll probably be when I do another tour of this garden. So this is my favourite corner right now. It's looking a bit sparse right now, but it'll soon pick up as I start replanting. But this is where I do pretty much all of my seedling rearing in summer, just outside on this little bench here. I stand the bench in water there, so that reduces the risk of slugs and snails getting up into the seedling area. And in autumn and spring, this is my hardening off bench. And you can see I've got a nice selection here now of container-wise pots of all shapes and sizes, and I'm going to be doing a video on my thoughts on them all once I've used them to grow some plants. So you'll see that soon. So I've got lots of tomatoes around here. So all these are little bush ones. They're all tumbler. And then these are sunstripe, I think, or tiger stripe, something like that. Sunstripe, I think. So they're a cordon tomato. Oh no, there's the label. Tiger Bella. I don't know where I got that sunstripe from. Anyway, so they're going to grow up those canes, so they should look quite nice there. And I've got another little dwarf there, and I did have these on the drive, but because we're having the building work done, I haven't got much space on the drive now, so I have to move them. So I've got 2 courgettes in the garden. I've got some really late planted, not late sown, but late planted Zeblun shallots in this bed, and I've interplanted it with beetroots. I'm not actually sure that these shallots will size up in time. They were just spares that I had, and I just can't bear to sort of throw my spares away, so I've tried to plant them somewhere. This bed's just about finished now. Maybe it doesn't look it, but we've got so much lettuce in other places. I really want to get this bed replanted. I'm probably going to put golden purslane in there. Those are shallots, red sun, I think, and they're still looking pretty green, which is good because they've still got quite a lot of growing to do. I gave them loads of space, I thought, and now I look at them, I think, well, maybe I didn't give them enough space. It's sometimes easy to underestimate how big things are going to grow. And they've got some big salad onions, which I just haven't got around to harvest because I've got so many salad onions, and lettuces, which have taken forever to get going. I don't think they've liked the cool nights and the hot days. It's just not been a great combination for lettuce, really. But anyway, they're starting to pick up now, and they still seem to be quite nice texture and everything to the leaves. So yeah, looking forward to harvest some of those. Some of these are new varieties to me. Cherry tree, grapes, or one, that's just one grapevine there. And I've got a lot of grapes coming on it this year, which is really nice. But also, it's always a bit of a compromise because it does kind of overtake these back beds here. So I always keep cutting it back because the beds are more important than the grapes. Anyway, so here we've got garlic. I think this is pretty much ready for harvest now. I don't tend to wait for these to die back too much. You know, as soon as you start seeing some yellow on here, it's worth checking them out and seeing, you know, whether the bulbs are big enough. And we picked one today and it looked pretty good. So I think I'm probably going to take this one out. I might leave that one for another week because it doesn't get as much sun. I've got some leeks at the back there, and I just popped a few onions in there which have gone to seed. Again, they were just spares that had too much stress sitting in the modules waiting to be planted out. And so it's not surprising they've gone to seed. But anyway, as I say, can't stand throwing things away. And here's something else that I was going to throw away, but I decided to plant some more cordon tomatoes. So these are, can't remember the name of these, I'm too tired. Anyway, I'll put it up. San Marzano. And again, they've just kind of sat around in the pots for ages and ages and ages as spares. And now I'm confident I want them in the polytunnel. So I had to find somewhere to put them. Let's finish off on the patio. So some more tumblers, some chili peppers. These are ripening up quite nicely now. And just a few spare potato plants. There's a kind of theme here, isn't there? Lots of spare things end up getting into this kitchen garden that I can't squeeze into the allotment. So we've got another courgette, and we've had a lot of chili peppers off these plants. We put them out ages ago, so they've been out for about a month. I did wrap them in fleece, but I mean they've really suffered because of these really cold nights. We had down to 5 centigrade a couple of nights ago. It's warmed up now, so they should be much happier. Another tomato, a little apple tree, and then the first probable disaster really. So this bed was overwintered onions, so red winter, and we should be harvesting these now, but they're really small still, and a couple of them have already gone to seed. So again, this is a bed that probably get cleared and replanted pretty soon, and you know, with a very modest harvest of red onions from it. The peas are doing nicely. I'm quite happy with these. These are obviously ready for harvest now. These are all mange 2s, and all the way down here, more and more mange 2s, all sort of sown in succession, but all probably going to come together, as so often happens with peas. Some carrots. It's interesting to see, you know, how big they are at the front of the bed and how little they are at the back of the bed. I suppose that's a unintentional succession going on there. And some sort of story here with the parsnips. Normally I put my parsnips a bit bigger spacing than this, but often we just get such big parsnips. Sometimes you don't want a huge parsnip, so I'll put these a bit closer so we'll get some little ones. And I've got some more parsnips down here, and they're interplanted with onions. And then again, some more parsnips and some more onions, and then some French beans. And these French beans were planted out about 10th, 15th of May, something like that, when the weather forecast looked pretty favourable. And then we basically had 2 weeks of really cold nights. And again, they just hated it. The salt and salt and salt. We're just starting to put on a bit of growth now. And now we've got these warm nights. They should pick up much better. Colettes there, pretty small. So quite confused as to why these are so small. The ones on the allotment are like twice the size of these. And I don't think it's the beds. You know, the nutrition in these beds is really good. You know, it's a mix of horse manure and mushroom compost and everything. So they should be loving it, but for some reason they're not loving it. And I don't know why. And I wish I did, because I hate it when I can't understand things. But anyway, there's still plenty of time for them to grow, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. And then these are our late crop of strawberries. So there's, well, I think you could probably call them the main crop of strawberries. So the first earlies are pretty much all finished. The second earlies are in full production. So these are the main crop. And then we've got a late crop on the allotment coming as well. But yeah, they're looking okay. Quite a nice harvest on there. And I've got some spare Brussels plants, so I've just dotted them around in this bed here, and they should be okay there. We've got a rogue raspberry coming up there, I need to pull it out. Nice little shed coming up there. And here's all my berries. So I've got gooseberries, blueberries, more blueberries, loads of blueberries here. Some more gooseberries and some more blueberries, and then I've got raspberries all the way along that back wall. And then I've got 2 successions of red cabbages, and so they're a month after planting and they're 2 weeks after planting, and they're doing really well. And you can sort of look at those and think they're a month old and they're a month old, so what's going on? Very confusing. Cherry tree there, and we're back to where we started. This area here was meant to be all potatoes, so that I didn't have to have any potatoes on this side of the drive here, which would then flop into the drive and make it really difficult to get in and out on my bike. But unfortunately, because of the building work, I've got potatoes on that side again, so it's really annoying. But well, not really annoying, like, just very slightly annoying. We've just finished the harvest, and so we've got all the containers drying there, and then we've got apple tree, apple tree, apple tree, cherry tree, and these cherries are looking really rather lovely. They're not quite ready yet, but they'll be ready soon. As mentioned, I've got potatoes kind of in all of these corners, supposedly out of the way, but not really. And you can imagine I've got like tons and tons of stuff to have moved up and down this drive for this building project. So these are just going to get wrecked. So I'm going to have to figure something out. I've tied all these up with string to sort of try and keep them reasonably well managed. Anyway, I've got a pear tree and another cherry tree. So that is pretty much it for the kitchen garden. So I hope you liked this quick video. My name's Steve, this is the Seaside Kitchen Garden and Allotment channel, and I'll see you soon.